Yes, sir. New breed 1901 was good. Good morning, bro. What it do? What it do? All right, so Deion Sanders' latest transfer portal targets. Looks like we're going after defensive back from Indiana, Ja Boyd. We got another offensive line tackle. Yes, sir. Who do we get? Let me see. Let me see. Morning, morning. Say no more. Say no more. So another FCS tackle. Okay. FCS tackle. What's good? Where you guys coming from in the chat? Where you coming from in the chat? O line be good. Yeah, yeah. O line be good. We're about to go over the depth chart of the O line right now. I was just looking at this article about Coach Prime. So headed to Colorado for a visit. After 4 days in the transfer portal, Boyd has made his decision. Now, if Deion Sanders and his staff can land him, Colorado could add a proven piece to the roster. Yeah, especially at corner. Yeah, I like Eaglin right now at corner to lock up that first part, but I'm not too sure about Cree yet from Notre Dame. I haven't seen too much film on him. And the kid from Appalachian State, he has a lot of speed and he has a good height, but I don't know how much tape he has, like as much production, as far as like what England did, is that's what we're looking for. That's a fact. Let me see. What else they talking about here? With Preston Hodge declaring for the 2026 NFL draft, and I think Preston Hodge is in the Hula Bowl, maybe. Colorado has lost several defensive backs to the transfer portal. That's a fact. All of our starters are gone, but we just got some very good incoming transfers. Adding Boyd would immediately restore depth. Yeah, so today is the last day of the transfer portal. Let's get to, all right, Blunts was good. What's good? O line be good. Secondary gonna be golden. Yeah, that's right. Blunts was good. What's good? 162, Eddie Charlie, morning. First time watching me have senior shorts watching from Houston, Texas. What up? I used to be in Houston a couple of years ago, bro. That humidity is different out there, but the food goes crazy. Yeah, so I'm glad you guys are talking about the depth chart right now. We're gonna talk about the depth chart. So let's share this screen here. So can you see that screen? Okay, yeah, we're good. So this is the Colorado's 2026 team roster depth chart. Some of these players that hit the transfer portal, but right now this is who we have on roster right now for 2026. The linebacker room is deep. Yeah, we got I like ESPN Gideon to lead us in tackles this year. I think he's gonna be going crazy. So at quarterback, we got Julian Lewis, 6'1". Last year he went that's not his updated stats, but okay. So we got Julian Lewis on staff. We got Isaac Wilson, and I think Colton Allen hit the portal, and Dominique Ponder as well. So right now, I know Julian Lewis, Isaac Wilson is back for next year. Running backs. So right now, these are the running backs we have in the room right now. We got Michael Welch, DeKalen Taylor, Batista, Damian Henderson the second. But I know there's some of these guys on this list did hit the portal. So good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining the live. I appreciate it. If you guys can hit the thumbs up, help me get some more people in here. I really appreciate that. Say no more. Let me see here. Wide receivers. Okay, so this is how deep we is at wide receiver. Look how deep this room is, bro. So obviously they give these guys their reception grades, their blocking grades, their ratings, where they came from. So we got Danny Scudero. Okay, so Danny Scudero is actually 5'9", 174 pounds, 88 receptions, 1,297 yards, 10 touchdowns. So he really reminds me, like, with his production coming over, that reminds me of when LaJohntay Wester came over, just keeping it all the way real. LaJohntay Wester had led the nation in receptions the year before. So that proves a starter to me. I mean, he's going to have to prove it in camp, of course, but that proves starter coming in for sure. Sincere Brown's gone, Sincere Brown's going to get some camp invites for sure. He gets to any combine though, his measurements are gonna get him. He's 6'5". He can run. I'm hearing he can run a high 4.3, low 4.4. And I feel like if he can get into a camp, he can earn himself an undrafted free agent spot just with his height measurements. 6'5", runs a 4.4. I think he's like one of those camp studs. So Cam Perry, the exciting, Cam Perry's gonna go crazy, bro. Give me 1 second. Cam. My bad, my bad. Let me see. Yes, all right. Let me answer. Hold on, I'm gonna answer the question in the chat. We have a 3-star quarterback we picked up. Yeah, that's Brett coming from high school, right? Wes Welker. Yeah, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman type style of wide receiver for sure. How many people we got in here? Oh, we got 25 people in the chat. Yeah, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate y'all. I'm dropping a video later today too. If you stay tuned in the chat, I'm gonna let you guys know the first ones to know what video I'm dropping. I'm just editing it right now, like it's editing as we speak. But let me get back to this depth chart for 2026 real quick. So Cam Perry, 5'9". So him and Scudero like the same, basically same size, same speed, 43 receptions, 976 yards, 6 touchdowns. Depending on what formation we go. If we go 3 wide, I mean, with Brendan Marion's offense, you're going to get all type of formations. So calling them starters right now, I would say 2 are going to be starters unless we go a solid 3 wide. But other than that, I think we're going to have some go 4 wide, 5 wide. We're going to get some speed on the field. We're going to see if the defense can keep up with us because that's one thing Colorado got this year is we got the speed. Joseph Williams, 6'2", 200 pounds. 37 receptions, 489 yards last season. He's our second leading receiver coming back, but he was our second leading receiver last year, but our first leading receiver this year as far as on the roster. And then we got DeAndre Moore Jr., 38 receptions, 532 yards, 4 touchdowns. So DeAndre Moore Jr., Texas has been putting wide receivers in the league the last 3 years. So he was kind of the number 2 every year last season. I think he's seen when Marion Miller left, despite Scudero and Perry and all those guys coming over, he can play on the outside. So I really think he's here to challenge Joseph Williams for that starter on the outside because he can play both. If you watch his film, 6 foot, Travis Hunter was 6'1", so he's not too far off. Jamar Chase is 6 foot, so he can play that outside the numbers, but he can play. But as far as I want to move him outside because we got Scudero and Cam Perry in the slot. So Joseph Williams and DeAndre Moore Jr. is my outside the boundaries, our X receivers on the outside. Quentin Gibson, he's not 5'9", he's a solid 5'8", but on the websites we gonna pump it up. But he just made the preseason All-American for kick returner and punt returner, so it looks like he might have that locked up. And they gave him an F on his blocking grade. That's tough. He just got to get his weight up, bro. Got to get in the weight room a little bit. 15 receptions for 71 yards, so 4.7 yards per reception. So let me see what the chat's talking about. If you don't block, hey, no block, no rock. That's 100. No block, no rock. No block, no rock. Hakeem Williams, one of the most back to Quentin Gibson though. Okay, so Scudero comes in, Cam Perry's here. They all play similar to Quentin Gibson. It's going to be some competition there, but I think that's what's going to make him better because in 2024 it was the same thing. When Jimmy Horn Jr. was there, LaJohntay Wester came in. When Omarion Miller was there, Will Shepherd came in. The only one who, of course, Jimmy and Travis was our starters from last season, but we just added them. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, it might not be a competition. You remember in 2024, we just added to our starters from last season. So there could be Gibson could be starting, and you add in a Scudero, Cam Perry, plus a DeAndre Moore Jr. and a Joseph Williams. I don't think it has to be either or, only in certain formations. Like if we're going run heavy, of course, we're not going to have our smaller receivers out there. We're going to go more with a bigger base receiver. So Hakeem Williams, though, he's like my sleeper pick right now because 6'2", 200 pounds. He's about to be a senior this year. He came over from Florida State Last season, he had 9 receptions for 81 yards. Kind of a crowded wide receiver. Not really that crowded. He just didn't beat out Sincere Brown, basically. Mathis slept on. Yeah, most definitely. Julian, favorite wide receiver. That's a fact. Who do we got coming in this weekend? I'm covering that right now. Today's the last day of the transfer portal, so we got some scheduled visits, but you have to be officially in the transfer portal today. And then you can commit after, but you have to be in the portal today. So we do have some visits lined up this weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend in Boulder, bro, because we're trying to lock in these last minute additions. So Hakeem Williams, and then so this is where the depth chart just gets really deep as far as you got Q Farrakhan, 1 reception for 17 yards, but he was a dog. Like in practice, he was going crazy in practice. So he's 6'1". Hakeem Williams is 6'2". So yeah, they're going to be, but salute to them. They didn't hit the portal. They stayed here. They're going to compete because DeAndre Moore Jr. and Joseph Williams, it is football. They're going to be competing in camp. And then there's Caleb Mathis, 5'9", 155 yards as a junior. This is his 4th year. So I think Caleb Mathis is graduating this year. He's probably going to go ahead and get his degree. And because he's been here since 2023, I think 2024, he used a redshirt year. Yeah, and then 2025 he came back. He really was on special teams, and then he got some burn. We could have used Caleb Mathis a lot more last year. He gets open, bro. So I hope we can do a better job of just putting a better bunch of group of wide receivers. Like we can't have all 6'2", 6'3" wide receivers out there running 15, 20 yards down the field. We got to get some quicker guys in there who can get open faster. Ronald Coleman, I seen, was in the transfer portal though. So a couple of these guys are in the transfer portal. I know Jack Estera is not coming back. He's out of there. Xavier McDonald, he hasn't got on the field yet. Yeah, Jack Estera, oh, hold on, I'm skipping people. Carson Westbrook, I think he's in the portal as well. 5'11", 170 pounds. Gavin Marsh, Taggart, Botter, yeah, he's for sure in the portal. Ernest Campbell. Yeah, so Ernest Campbell came over from Sac State. 755 yards last year, double-digit touchdowns. Fastest guy on the team, 37 receptions, 755 yards. So most definitely, let me see here. Don't forget DeAndre Moore. Facts. Mathis routes go crazy. He do. Elite route. And he got a chance to study under LeJontay and Jimmy Horn Jr., so he definitely is up there with his route running. I just want to see him get on the field. I mean, those are one of those loyal busts. It's like, so imagine being a college player, right? You're there for 4 years, and every year they bring in somebody at your position with a higher profile, better production, with them to be the starter. It's just that's when you got to understand. That's why his dad being there, Coach Mathis just helped him not hit the portal. Get your degree, reserve a year, and then if you really want some playing time, and the Power 4 conference is, because everybody can't dominate in a Power 4 conference. You might sign to a Power 4 school. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to dominate at that level. So sometimes it might be okay to just drop down a level, bro, and go ball out at an FCS level because you already got that experience. You got your degree for Caleb Mathis. And I feel like for this season, or he might just stick it all the way through. We'll see. We'll see with Mathis. But he's definitely paid his dues, bro. But that's how it is in college football. If you've been following Mathis, he signed in 2023 out of high school. Every single year, they brought in somebody at his position at that slot. Every year. It's been like that. But it's a competition. That's what college football is about. It's a business. You got to get better, and you need the power. You need them top-ranked players to have production on the field. So, all right, Xavier McDonald. Ernest Campbell, though. What do you guys think about Ernest Campbell, bro? Where do you think he's going to be in this? Because he can fly, and he has production, 8 touchdowns last season, 20 yards per catch. So it looks like Cam Perry, 22.7 yards per reception, and Ernest Campbell, 20.4 yards per reception. Those are our deep threats right there. Those are our goal balls right there. Quick stream. If you're in the chat, appreciate you guys. You can hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up for me. If not, it's all good. Say no more. It's all good. All right, tight ends. Hopefully we get to use some tight ends more. We got Zach Atkins, 85, 6'4", 240 pounds. He had 20 receptions for 149 yards last season. Julian Lewis was looking for him last season. C+ on his pass blocking, C-. Run block, D+. Ooh, D+ on run blocking. You got to be able to block in this go-go offense. So he's going to have Savell Smalls. So there might be a change at tight end this year. If Savell Smalls can block better, if he has a grade A running grade, then he's going to be in there for those running formations in the offense in the go-go. So 6'3", 265 pounds. Corbin Leisure, 6'5", 250. One of our tight ends was in the portal yesterday, but Coach Prime gave him a scholarship. Ladoza. I forgot what his name was, but anyways. And then we got Charlie Williams. He's a junior. All right, so let's get to the offensive line. You know, we lost Jordan Seaton. A lot of these guys who are seniors or graduated, they're not here anymore. Philip Houston, more from FIU, Maryland. So Bo Hughley, 6'7", 295 pounds. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Topaz or something. Yeah, Coach Prime was loving it when he gave him a scholarship yesterday. Xavier Payne, Josiah Manu. So this is what it's looking like on our depth chart for offensive line. But I know, like Xavier Hill, of course, he's graduated. So some of these graduates, Philip Houston, some of these guys ain't here no more. They're headed to the league. But I'm not a huge offensive line guy. I know we need the trenches. I just don't pay attention like that to the offensive line. I'm more of a skill person. So there's other channels that cover the offensive line and defensive line in depth more. I just am more of a skill player. You feel me? So I know Tyler Brown hit the portal for sure. Ben Gula. So these are incoming freshmen. So, I know Jordan Seaton left, but the offensive line wasn't really our problem last year. It's just how we used our running backs and how we could have just ran the ball more to establish the run. So O-line graded high. Yeah, we got a good offensive line. If you guys are here in the chat, I appreciate y'all. Say no more. Savell Smalls. Hey, is there anybody here in the chat where you guys left a comment and then y'all disagree with me on the comment? Let me know. What was it about? We could tap in about it. Because I was up all night replying to comments. People were talking to me crazy about, I said Jordan Seaton was going to leave in the portal. Well, he was already getting looked at in the portal, and everybody was like, he'll never leave. He's Coach Prime's. He's loyal to the soil. Bro, he hit the portal on us. Easy call. Dips. I knew when he sat out those last 4 games, he was leaving, bro. Him and McKinney. I was like, they ain't hurt. They leaving. It's a wrap. They're out of here. And if you looked at my last video too, I'm pretty sure Coach Prime understood when they sat out those last 3 games. Like I said, he got his sons. He got 3 grown sons. You don't think he don't know when his sons say they stomach hurt and they're not trying to go to school? Same thing for Jordan Seaton. Oh, my foot hurts all of a sudden with those last 3 games. Oh, DJ McKinney. Oh, my knee hurts. A lot of those guys who shut it down those last 3 games of the season, they were already – it wasn't like they were fully committed. They were going to go to the negotiations tables with Colorado if Colorado wasn't going to match or if they weren't going to bring it. Because, players have a lot more demands they do that they're not talking about. They talk about bringing in certain – they want you to change their position coach. If Coach Prime ain't willing to drop somebody on his staff, he's going to tell you to hit the portal. Seaton might want, I want this coach here, hire him. He's going to develop me better. Coach Prime might say, this is my offensive line coach. We ain't doing all that. So there's different factors why people hit the portal. And I feel like not everything is money. I know Coach Prime said it's money. Yeah, it's money. But then there's some kids who are still stuck in the portal right now. They rather hit the portal than stay at Colorado for this next season because of the season that we just had. And that's okay to say, bro. We weren't good last season. And this is the domino effect of how, of course, the portal was going to open. Kids were going to ask for more money. They were going to look for playing time. But when you have a losing season, and you don't know what the trajectory is, of course, you can believe. Like, belief only goes so far, bro. We got to see what's going on, what the plan is. So some people leave for different reasons. The people who stayed, they're about to be a part of the change. And so let's rock. So let's defensive line. We got to get nasty here. Arden Walker, he's gone. Keaton Wade, he's gone. Yamil Talib, that's Aqib Talib's family or his nephew, so he might be a crash out. Anybody with the last name Talib is a baby crash out. I ain't gonna lie. Talib was on demon when he was in the league. 6'2", 28 tackles, 11 solo, 4 tackles for loss. I see he can cover really well too. He can get out inside the passing lanes and cover too. Tristan Morris. Never really heard him. Santana Hopper, 6'2", 265 pounds. comes over from Tulane, has a good got some good passing grades, got some good pass rushing grade. That's that pass rush and run rush, whatever you want to call it. 25 tackles, 13 sales, 9, 5 sacks, 4 quarterback hurries. Edra Christensen, 6'2", 260 pounds, 41 tackles, 21 solo, 2 pass defenders. A+. Okay, he's graded out good. The guy coming over from the Mexico State is grading out good. Dylan Manuel, 6'1", 300 pounds, 37 tackles, 12 solo. Seaton go to Miami. Let me respond to something in the chat. Let me see. Seaton, not good. Utah hurt his pride. That dude from Utah, that defensive end was going hammy, bro. Seaton had that look on his face like, help me, please. Help me, please. Do you watch football? Been watching Colorado? There's nothing wrong with not starting. Okay. All right. Oh, that must be in the chat. Seaton is mid run blocker. Yeah, I don't know how great he would have been in this scheme, and that's something he had to think about too. I don't know how great he would have been in this scheme. He had JMU. Chauncey is a dog. We got some good talent from last year's Frosh. Our new incoming high school lines. D3 was Goody. Yes, sir. Do you watch football? Okay. Seaton go to Miami. Yeah, I think it's Texas and Miami, bro. You know, Seaton. Thing about Seaton, bro, he's been living this life since a high schooler. Think about how high schoolers have changed. When he came in 2024, he had the Maybach handed to him. But this is what it's like for a top 5-star recruit. You know, he's been a millionaire since high school. So wherever he goes, and think about now, all the money that some of these schools who have a lot of money allocated, why not just give the rest of the money to Jordan Seaton if you can sign him? He's a projected first-round pick. I mean, he has some stuff. Of course, everybody has stuff he needs to work on, but yes, sir, it's all about the money. All right, cool. So Omari McNeil thought he was gonna go crazy last year. Our D line last year, bro. We just got to get way nastier. You could be 6'5", 340, but did you command a double team? You know, I seen Chidozie 5'11", 290 command a double team, 270 command a double team more than some of our bigger guys. So I don't think the bigger you are, that just directly translate into Big 12, because you got somebody like Chidozie who was going ham the year before. So we gotta as we know, this is our most concern for next season is our defensive line, bro. We got to get back to that 2024 great defensive line, great linebackers who can mesh well. They understand Nakai Hill, Greenfield, those guys perfectly. Who was number 20 with the neck roll? Who had transferred from Tennessee, the linebacker 2 years ago, but him and Nakai Hill Green. So you need grown men at linebacker, bro. You need linebackers with mental problems, and you need defensive line who just all are not there as far as like football wise, like mental, like on the field, on the football field, they're not all there. They crash out. Terry and Carter II. All right, let's get to our linebackers. You guys good on the defensive tackle? I'm gonna move on. These are who we have on roster right here. This is who we have, but the portal is still open today. So this will update by the end of the day. I'll go live tonight to see if we added anybody to the portal here. Linebackers, Gideon, ESPN, Lamprin, the water boy, bro. So 6 foot, 225 pounds, 119 tackles last season, 65 solo, 18 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Starter, Randon Fontaine. So he's listed as linebacker for us. You know, the guy coming over from Vandy, 6'2", 220 pounds, 51 tackles, 30 solo. So if that's the plan, see, there might be some in Rob Livingston's defense. He might see Fontaine more as a linebacker than a safety. So I know on his profile, I seen corner, then I seen safety, but when I went and watched his tape, he played more of like a nickel safety than an actual all-out, free safety, strong safety. So they might have intentions of moving him to maybe outside linebacker because he can cover. So his rush isn't that good. B+, A- on coverage. Yeah, I seen he's very aggressive on the run defense. Very. Lionel Lafu, our transfer from Texas. What does he have a D in? Oh, coverage. Yeah, so that was the thing with Jeremiah Brown last year. You see these linebackers like LaFowl, great at run stopping, but you get a shifty running back who can run a wheel route on you, a choice route, an arrow route. Jeremiah Brown was getting, not just to single him out, but you got to be able to cover at linebacker too. So on third downs, we're gonna have to take LaFleur off the field. He can't stay on the field for third downs. We're gonna have to. He can't be on the field because right now it looks like he can't cover a running back worth a dime. But that's besides the point. 68 tackles, 26 solo, 2 tackles for loss. Martavius French, he's gone. Tyler Martinez, the guy we just got from New Mexico State. 6'2", 225, 27 tackles. Nickel, Benson, or something. Why do you think into the portal? A lot of the guys on this list. If you guys just got in here, welcome to the chat, bro. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate it. Gage Goldberg. Is Gage Goldberg still here? Did he hit the portal? Because I know Bill Goldberg and Coach Prime got a real good relationship. But it looks like Gage Goldberg is still here. Because Colorado is a good school to get your education. Not everybody's going to the NFL, bro. You got to be the top 1% of the 1% of the 1%. So some of these kids, if you're looking for a coach who's going to actually make sure you're on your school and you're going to graduate and have a job and be successful and get your degree, then Colorado is one of those schools who's just not focused on just production and what you could do for me. He cares about the making young men successful going into the real world. So a lot of these kids on scholarship, you can see from last year, if you've been watching, everybody, Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, Pregame Network, all them channels, you can see when they're inside of Coach Prime takes study serious, and and not everybody's making it to the league, bro. In fact, on this whole roster right now, it might be 2 players that make it to the NFL, maybe 1, and then the rest might have to go undrafted. That's how you got to strike lightning in a bottle. You got to be one of one. You got to be one of them to make it to the NFL. So yeah, we're good on linebackers here. What do you guys think about the linebackers? Who's your starters? Drop 3 2 outside linebackers, 1 middle linebacker if you had to go to start the season. This is who we have on roster right now. This does not include anybody we're going to get after today, because today's the last day of the portal. Secondary, here we go. Preston Harge graduated. Emery Floyd, okay, just came up. Preston Harge, I think depending on how he does at the pro day, what his 40 time is, how he does I want to say he's at the Hula Bowl, and if he gets an NFL Combine invite, that'll be huge for Preston Harge. Him and Xavier Hill are probably our top prospects to sign as like undrafted free agents for the 2026 NFL draft. Sincere Brown, Caden Salter too. Despite the season he had, he can make a practice squad if he just gets the opportunity to show off his arm talent. Caden Salter has the arm talent, but Preston Hodge, one of our better defenders this last season, run defense D. Come on, bro. I don't know. Coverage D+, rush A+, run defense. I don't know about that grade right there. Preston Hodge was coming up to run support very well last season. But Emery Floyd, 6'1", 195, 49 tackles, 29 solo, coming over from Appalachian State. B coverage, C+ rush, run defense A+. Let's go. Justin England grades out very well. This is my starter right now. He has the confidence. He reminds me a lot of Coach Prime. Coach Prime wants them corners who walk it and they talk it, bro. Appreciate y'all. 48 people in the chat. Good looking. Let me see who else is there. 48 people in the chat. Yes, sir. 55 people in the chat. Appreciate y'all. All right, let's get back to it, bro. Justin England. So right now, okay, Ivan Yates graduated. Makari Vickers hit the transfer portal. RJ Johnson is coming back. Cree Thomas is here. Maurice Williams is a freshman. Nathan Mitchell, the safety. Ben Finnesseth is coming back as well. Jaden Hardy, Oklahoma. Nathaniel, Preston Ashley, freshman. Braylon. Oh, yeah, true. Those are our freshmen. Okay, so who is your starting corners right now? All right, looking at this right here, who is our secondary? Who's the nickel? Who's the free safety? Who's the strong safety? 2 starting corners. If we can drop that in the chat. Who is our starting? Who's your starting secondary? I got Boo Carter. I got England right now. RJ Johnson or Emery Floyd. Creed Thomas. Right now, I'm leaning towards Emery Floyd and RJ Johnson. Creed Thomas. Why can't Coach Prime get better? Maurice Williams. All right, let's go to the chat. Let's see what's going on here. RJ Johnson, why can't Coach Prime get better? Coach, yeah, this is supposed to be quarterback university, bro. Like, you come to Colorado, it should be quarterback university for sure. RJ Johnson at Corey Vickers gone. That's a fact. Zane's brother play. Who's Zane? Who's Zane? Who's Zane? There it is. Oh, big, yeah, Ben, yeah. I mean, he's one of Coach Prime's guys, bro. Like, he's good for the team. He brings good morale. That's why Coach Prime really wanted him back, because after last season, you need people who's gonna, show how good of a relationship Coach Prime. All the disgruntled players are gone. Anybody who had gripes with any coaches or with Coach Prime himself, he probably asked him to hit the portal himself. Ben Finnissith is one of those guys. He has a good relationship with Coach Prime. As far as his production on the field, great special teams player. Whether he's a starter at safety, he'll get a chance to compete. But right now, he's not a starter for sure. We got Boo Carter. We even got our guy from New Mexico State. If you watch his film right now, Nate Mitchell's probably our starting free safety. Nate Mitchell for sure. 5'11", 92 tackles, 58 solos, 2 tackles for loss. Is a turnover machine from New Mexico State. Kickers, nobody cares about the kickers. Not to be like, no, I shouldn't say that. Buck Buchanan, Damon Greaves. All I know is Mata just declared for the NFL draft. So Preston Ashley. I think we're gonna get a running back though. I think a big time running back is gonna come to Boulder as well. I think that's why Simeon Price hit the portal. Because right now, this is what our running back room look like. You got to have more running backs than that to start the season for sure. We here. What's good? What it do? Welcome. 50 people in the chat. I appreciate y'all. If you were here for some of my beginning streams, struggle. I ain't gonna lie, couldn't hear. My mic wasn't set up. It was tough, but I got it together. I'm gonna get better too. What other channels you guys watch? What other Colorado channels you guys watch? Let me go to a different screen here too. Let's see here. Boom. Yeah, this screen. All right, let me know if you guys can see this screen right here. Put a thumbs up. Let me know if that's coming in clear right there. If you can see that screen. No way. Who's that? How do you get him off here? You can cut. Anyways, he's going to have to stay right there. All right. Okay, so the transfer portal latest activity, right? So, and this is their grade. So we got 35 so far. We got Randon Fontaine, we know, Ernest Campbell, 3-star, Jaden Hardy, 3-star, Cedric Smith. So Kurt Signetti approach. We're going for proven production in the FCS level, FBS level, which, I mean, look at Ohio State. It's just because you have 5 stars and Power 4 transfers doesn't necessarily transfer in the college football playoffs. And despite last season, the goal for Coach Prime and Colorado football is to make it to the playoffs and Big 12 championship. Just because we had a bad season, we can't lower our standards. So the Kurt Signetti approach is good. The Indiana approach is good. I mean, we did it in 2024. We did it with a bunch of FCS players. Why can't we do it again? BIP is my favorite channel, Buffed and Prime. Yes, sir. They know what they talk. They be knowing what they're talking about over there. Not gonna lie. We're gonna be fine. People has a linebacker Salter hit the portal. I find it If Salters, I don't even see, was his name on the list? I didn't see Salters' name on that list. I don't think Salters coming back. There's no way. After what happened with Caden, there's no way he stays at Colorado. No way. Didn't know Savell Smalls had eligibility. Yeah, you know what? Let's double check that. He might not have any more eligibility. Some of the players on that list, they've graduated or they're in the transfer portal too. So that's a fact. 9-3 and 3-9, they were the same coaches. So that tells you guys it's the players in the scheme. Yep. And that's why recruiting, Coach Phillips would have still been here if it wasn't, whatever Coach Prime, him and them talked about, like having Brendan Marion being a part of the recruiting team now and having Coach Prime really oversee it. Because I think while he was out and having surgery and everything, I think he left it in the hands of his staff. And I think the money got in the way of a lot of decisions. And I'm going to go as far as say is like, allegedly, there might have been some back-end deals, bro. How do you get some of these guys to pay them that amount of money? Could have been some back-end. This is college football we're talking about. This is big money. So, hey, if I can get you 800,000, I might need a 25 ball. I might need a 50 ball on the back end. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Drop 100 in the chat if you think that sometimes you can get a player, and if you don't have people overseeing you getting a player, you can cut some back-end deals, bro. You can get, and then some of them players might not be players that we needed, but players that would agree to take some change to take a big amount of change to come here, but you would have had to pay me on the back end. So there could have been, I'm just saying, and you can't, I wouldn't completely just say that can't happen because it happens all the time in college football. We're no different just because we're in Colorado. Don't think that people don't be cutting deals, NIL deals. NIL is big money. If I can get you to commit to my school, and let's say we're going to pay you $400,000, but I need you to kick me $15,000. If you get 5 or 6 players like that, you just ran up 100 bands. It happens. Something to think about. Allegedly. Something to think about though, because the production that we got from who we got says, why would 100, 200, 300, 400, 500? What? I'm just saying it happens. Emory Floyd, Ville. So these are their grades. Bo Hughley. I mean, these are their stars. Nate Mitchell, 3 stars. So, yeah, we're going with a lot of 3 stars. Creed Thomas, Cam Perry, Tyler Moore, Damian Henderson II, Yamil Talib, Demetrius Hunter, Javen Richardson, Jaquil Smith. I know one thing. Our defensive line has to step it up because the Big 12, if you look at what Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, these guys been getting some huge offensive linemen, some Power 4 offensive linemen, and just some really productive offensive linemen. So, hey, what's going on? Good point. When was he on staff? 2024. Phillips was garbage picking recruits. There's going to be teams that the players they sign with will be illegal to play because of illegal contracts. Yeah, dude put some on their head tackling him. That's crazy. Good point. Say no more. You never know. Yeah, bro. When Coach Prime wasn't there, yeah, a lot of things changed, bro. And I feel like a lot of people was just going off the success from 2024 and, kind of just felt like they could do the same formula all over again. And the next thing you know, you look up, we're 3-9 and 1-8 in conference. And then everybody is confused. Like, hold on, we're getting built. Like, hold on, like what's going on? And then media has to come out and try to cover it up and trust the process. But you can't just sweep something like what happened under the rug last season. So we just got to do a better job of taking accountability that last season we dropped the ball from the coaching staff all the way down to the players we brought in, the scheme, everything. We dropped the ball. So everybody who's on it, like we're on it right now, seeing who we're getting in, following, trying, because we're real fans and we support, Colorado football. It's okay. But we're just not going to just believe. I'm not one of those just believers. Like I'm not one of those, everything's all right. Just okay. No, I want to see what they're bringing in this time. Balsama, Kamara, Lamont Lester Jr., Boo Carter. I wonder, you guys think Boo Carter's going to play? He's going to get that gray jersey like Travis did and be able to play on wide receiver and safety. Let's see. Outgoing transfer. So this who's hit the portal. Simeon Price left. Jordan Seaton cut. There it is. Man, I was up responding to comments about Jordan Seaton going back a month ago when I posted the video about like teams are seeking after him. But it is what it is. It's not like I was just telling everybody, like, if you come to my channel, I'm gonna say what I feel. I'm not just gonna go along to get along. If I see something that if I feel like I don't know if Seaton's all the way locked in, bro, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna not say it because we're Buffalo fans. I don't want no more surprises this year like we got that. I'm cool. I'm good on the surprises this time, bro. So when I made my Jordan Seaton video, I just seen how he was looking on the sideline. He looked frustrated, losing. You gotta, bro. This kid came over from IMG, winning 20 his freshman year. He's winning. He's seeing Heisman Trophy winners. He's seeing 5 people go to the draft. He's seeing LeJon. He's like, oh yeah, Colorado's supposed to be here. And then you go from that to the next season. You can't fault somebody for being like, bro, what we doing? Like, what's going on? And then you telling me, oh no, it's all good. No, you're good. No, he's like, no, it's not all good, bro. It's really not. It wasn't. So that's when I made the video. Like, man, Seaton might hit the portal. He's looking at the long term because these kids have agents, and then now it's not just kid. Like, he might have been committed to Colorado, but you got to think about what his agent. His agent's talking to him like, bro, what are you doing? Are you really going to do this? Are you going to risk your draft? Are you going to risk your draft stock? Are you going to risk another? These are things that get talked about. It's not something that doesn't happen. So that's why I say each one of these kids right here left the portal for different reasons. You think Isaiah Harge left in the portal to get the bag? Who's throwing the bag at Isaiah Harge? I love the kid. You seen I made a whole segment for him, the hardest working kid. Any team would love to have him on their roster, but is a Power 4 school throwing the bag at Isaiah Harge right now? Carter Stottmeyer, are they getting is Cam Michael leaving to get a bag? No. Some kids are leaving to go get a better opportunity. They might have to drop down a level to get more playing time. Position coaches, some people felt like I'll never see the field with this position coach because I'm not his guy. We've all guys who play football, people who play football. Have you had a position coach who you didn't get along with? It happens. Not everybody on staff is just the best person. Some people you don't get along with on staff, bro. It happens. So Cam, everybody leaves the portal for different reasons. Cooper Lovelands, Tyrekus Davis, Terrell Timmons Jr., Kyle Carpenter, and then a lot of these guys are Corey Phillips guys too, who he recruited to Colorado, and Corey Phillips is no longer there. So who's their voice? And if Coach Prime don't see, I'm not gonna say if he don't see you as a dog, but if you got on that field and you didn't take advantage of your opportunities, because one thing I can say is almost all these guys got an opportunity on the field last year because that's where we at. We were just trying to figure out who gonna make a play. Somebody make a play. Even Terrell Timmons Jr., bro, I feel like he should have been on the field a lot more. He was hungry last year. When he got on the field, he made plays, run blocking. He was blocking hard. You can see when he got in the game, he's actually like, look, I'm hungry. Keep me in the game. Put him right back on the sideline. Crazy work. So he's at Memphis now. Nikhil Webb, Walker. Oh, that's the guy who had like leukemia or something. He had surgery. He had to sit out the 2024 season. Walker Anderson, DJ McKinney signed with Notre Dame. Perfect example. DJ McKinney, right? Like these two right here. London Mayer, DJ McKinney. Coach Prime literally hyped DJ McKinney up into all of us believing he was a first-round pick. He still has that potential, but did he show first-round lockups last season? No. And we didn't have one side of the field shut down. It's okay to say that, like we did the year before. Could we have used Colton Hood this last season? Absolutely. But what did Colton Hood do? Left, went to Tennessee. He's about to be a first-round draft pick. Sometimes you can do better outside of Colorado. It's okay to say that. Some kids go and do better outside of Colorado. Look at Colton Hood. He said, all right, y'all want to play? Cool. I believe in myself. I believe in my talent. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm gonna show y'all. I don't need y'all. I'm gonna ball out and get to the league. So when other recruits see that formula, they say Colorado is not for everybody. It was good for Travis. It was good for Shedeur. It was good for those guys who made it, but it might not been good for them, and that's okay. Not everybody's gonna make everybody might not be the focal point of getting to the league based on the scheme, the coach. Who knows? Ryan Staub, I hear he was trying to get to like Ohio State and other schools. Good luck, Bucko. Like he had his moments, but I mean, his moments was really against like Delaware State and Wyoming and stuff. But when he got in there with them, man, he was, I ain't gonna lie. And then look at that. We rotated 3 quarterbacks last year. Who does that? Like, if you don't have like your running quarterback and like, but who 3 was crazy. Come on, bro. That just shows we didn't have it right in the with the offensive coordinator. Reginald Hughes looked great at practice in the games. I think Jeremiah Brown should have started over him from the beginning of the season. I think Jeremiah Brown and Justin and Meyer should have started over Reginald Hughes and French to begin the season. Like, I like Reginald Hughes. He made plays. He just, for that scheme, Jeremiah Brown and Myers was better. So that's the problem. That's what we got to get better in 2026. Who was in charge of the depth chart? Who was in charge of placing who? And I'm not going to single a player out here, but what Coach Prime would say, give me your dogs. Give me the people you trust the most based on who watches the film, who knows the scheme, who shows it in practice. Remember, he always says you got to show it in practice, but they did not show it in the game. And then you have players who were sitting on that bench who I guarantee you when they would have gotten the game would have went crazy. So however you got to fix that dynamic, you need a second opinion. Maybe the position coaches says, these are my guys. And then Coach Prime directly goes, hold on now, let's go. Hold on. But did he show that last game? Because we kept putting the same guys out last year who was getting belt in the game instead of the guys who were sitting on the bench hungry. Then when they get in the game, they're making plays for us. So Samuel Okinola, he just straight dipped on Colorado. I don't know if it was what it was, but he could have really helped us. He didn't even play a snap for us last season, or maybe one snap. Dallin Hayden, a running back for us who should have got the ball a lot more last year, bro. Dallin Hayden, go to Memphis, bro. Get your carries. Like, go to Memphis because we could have just – I know running backs is cool when you have the system. Like, if you have like a go-go offense, you can have rotational running backs because you see the production they're going to have. 2 500-yard running backs and a 1,000-yard running back. But when you're rotating like 5 running backs and then the most rushing yards you get is nobody goes over 400 yards, it's the scheme. It's not the players. That was a horrible scheme that we were running in the run game last season. Horrible. If you were going to rotate running backs, that scheme right there, you got to give running back touches, let them get the ball, let them, you know how running backs are? 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, boom, 18 yards, 20 yards. They see things, but if you keep taking him out and putting in a new running back, this new scheme though with the go-go offense works better for that. Sean Myers is gone. Slaughter, perfect example. Ben Finnesseth was starting over John Slaughter. There's no excuses in the world to tell me why he should have been starting. I'm sorry. Stottmeyer as well. John Slaughter and Taufik Byers should have been starting at safeties last year. Drop 100 in the chat if you believe. I mean, if you agree with me. If John Slaughter and Taufik Byers should have been our starting safeties from the beginning. That's what I'm saying. Who said Ben and Carter Stottmeyer? Let's go. Yeah. Who said Tevion Coleman, Draylon Miller? Starting at the slot, Draylon Miller should have never. The reason why Draylon Miller, for me, was going crazy in 2024 at the slot was because you had Travis Hunter, who commanded a double team, LaJohntay Wester, Will Shepard. Yeah, he was getting the single linebacker. He was getting the single safety. He took advantage of the scheme. But when they schemed for Draylon, he wasn't really you need somebody way faster and shiftier. Look at what Brendan Marion did. So think about it. To start the season last year, Draylon Miller was a starter in the slot, right? Yeah, it was like him and Joseph Williams. But now Brendan Marion brings in, we're back to those LaJohntay, Jimmy's, those quick, fast. So now we got Scudero, Cam Perry, Gibson. So, yeah, Draylon Miller. Then we moved in the running back. So Draylon Miller starting over Hayden at running back now too, over Trackcock, over Simeon Price. We understand Draylon Miller is like a Debo Samuels type player, but that offensive scheme didn't fit him if he's the focal point. If he's like the third or fourth like schemed player for the defense, yeah, he can work and get open as like a on a linebacker or a safety. But if we can game plan for Draylon Miller, this show last season wasn't no. I like Draylon Miller as a kid, but in that offense, it wasn't it. Christian Hudson, Taufik Thomas, everybody on the D line, tough last season. Gabriel Lightfoot, he had huge potential. But Alexander McPherson took a while for this guy to get on the field. He goes to BYU inside the conference. That's crazy. Good. He's come. Julian, I'm coming for you. Booker T voice next season, boy. For real. Let me see here. See what's going on in the chat. Again, I appreciate y'all being here, bro. 51 people. That's good enough for me. Let's keep growing. Draylon Mayer was not better than Mathis last year. Mathis and Timmons should have played a lot more. That's a fact. Draylon, not no Debo. Debo could house it. It could go. That's tough. McPherson went to Penn State. Oh, yeah. Penn State. My bad. I thought that was BYU. That's Penn State. My fault on that one. Yeah, you're right. Good pickup. That's a true freshman right there. His parents was like, we're getting you out of here. You're out of here, bro. Facts. It happened. His parents was like, he's a kid. He's a high schooler. He's seen what happened, the culture. Not the culture. I'm not going to say the culture. I'm going to throw no smut on the program like there. But his parents probably said, hey, do you want to? He's like, no, I want a fresh start. I don't want to do this. I want to go somewhere else. Cool. That's why I say everybody leaves for different reasons. That Colorado wasn't a good fit for him. It's okay. Colorado's not a good fit for everybody. Carday Smith went over to Memphis. Brandon Davis Swain, Texas A&M. Taufik Bayard, Texas A&M. Probably his last year in college football. He's going to be in the league in 2027. Taufik Bayard will probably be like a fourth to seventh round pick. Let me know what you guys, if he goes out and does what he did at Colorado at Texas A&M last season, which I think if you guys watched him last year, he will do. Where you guys think he goes in the draft in 2027? Marion Miller stayed inside the Big 12. That's tough. Went over to Arizona State. Now, we're going to see each other and everyone going to get business here. Yeah. Taufik Bayard has an NFL grade. Omarion Miller has an NFL grade heading into 2025. So losing NFL graded players is never okay. Keeping your NFL graded players on the roster and then adding FCS production players and FBF players is cool. Right now, losing all of our NFL graded players is tough. I mean, that is tough. So this is a rebuild in a sense. Now how many players are we getting in that do have NFL grades? Off the rip, you got to go Boo Carter for sure. I want to say Gideon ESPN probably has an NFL grade on him. I gotta go look. Jaheim Otis went to Ole Miss. That get your money, bro. Jaheim Otis been running it up in the portal. What? Alabama, Colorado to Ole Miss, so he's back in the SEC. TJ Branch went to UCF, 6'3", 170. TJ Branch was making plays in practice, bro. I ain't gonna lie, he was one of them. He just, next better fit, better situation. He got picked up though. Teion Parks went to TCU. Noah King still in the portal. He hasn't signed anywhere. Okay, Montrez Walker was the first player to hit the portal on us. Terrence Love. I don't even remember seeing Terrence Love on the team. No disrespect, but I didn't see too much of him on the team last year at all. But yeah, let me get back to the chat. Let me see what it do. Walker. How do we think Omarion is? I think Omarion is. LaJonte went 6th round. Jimmy went 6th round. Now, I will say for the NFL, he's taller, which NFL loves height. He's heavier, which means, and he's right now, as a junior, he has more production than Jimmy Horn Jr. He has more production than Will Shepard did. He doesn't have more production than Travis. Xavier Weaver had a better season than him when he went undrafted, signed as a undrafted free agent. So it all depends on this season and what Omarion Miller does in this season. I don't know who Terrence Love is. Otis looks hot on the day he landed. He ran it up, bruh. Woo! if he made, and you got to think about it, Coach Prime paid some of these players who, like, some of the players who, like Nakai, if let's say Jaheim Otis made more than Cameron Sim and Craig made, you just think how Coach Prime was thinking, like, bruh, this dude made more than Cameron Sim and Craig, and I know who I know who him is, and we paid this dude that. That's why he said it was the Last Supper. That's why he said that's the last time he's gonna overpay because number one, he's already looking to get players. I'm not gonna say on a discount. He's looking for players that are dogs, that know they dogs, who gonna prove it on the field, and then the NFL is gonna come. We understand that, but yeah, he was over it last season because we overpaid and got nothing back in return. Crazy Sweatwater at quarterback. So let me see. I'm share this screen real quick. Go here. Go here on my channel. Who you guys think we're getting in the portal today, though? Let's see. You don't know where. All right. Hold on. This is what we're gonna do here. All right. So, who you guys think? Who's your top 5 wide receivers that ever under the Coach Prime era that went to Colorado? Let me know in the chat. I got we all know Travis Hunter's number 1, bro, but Colorado was known for a wide receiver university, bro. Like that's what Colorado was known for. So, I got it muted. Hold on.
You got to look at Xavier Weaver's film, bro. He was like that in big moments, in big games. He was making it happen. That's why he's my number 1. He was really standing on business in 2023, so that's why he's at the top of the hill for me, bro. Next, we got LeJohntay Western. Now, you already know it was close between him and Xavier Weaver for me, to be honest with you, because at his number 2, he had the ultimate production, bro.
I think I gotta pause it sometimes, or else YouTube will flag me because they're gonna say, even though it's my video that I'm making, they're gonna say that I didn't. Whatever. All right, pause it. It is what it is.
LeJohntay Western.
Oh, bro, let's get to the business. Let's get to the business.
74 receptions for 931 yards and 10 touchdowns, making second team All Big 12. And
Travis Western, Xavier,
Marion, award winner, making big plays like this coming in clutch. LeJohntay, he's at number 2 for me. It's a 1A, 1B for me, but I give the edge to Weaver because he held it down as the lone receiver with nobody else. He was getting double teamed, but that touchdown number is huge, but those 74 catches were critical. Wester was phenomenal, a volume receiver and the most consistent chain mover we had. He was the money on third down.
He held it down when Travis Hunter was
nightmare. Him and Jimmy Horn Jr. were change. Couldn't nobody stick with him one-on-one. His ability to run and turn it, take a quick slant or a 12-yard gain, he's really 60 to 70 yards in the house was notable, and that's exactly why the Baltimore Ravens.
Pause that for a little second. Pause. Yeah, I like Xavier Weaver. That's a great point, D3. Like Xavier Weaver really was the focal point of our offense. If you go back to 2023, he literally held it down while Travis was gone, bro. Him and Jimmy Horn Jr.
Ravens drafted him in the 6th round of the 2025 draft. So why isn't he number 1? Because Wester's game was and they bringing in 6 scores, 58 catches. Like I said, him and Weaver were holding.
There it is. Then I muted myself. All right, bro. I'm over it. Never mind. That's crazy. So then I wasn't even talking the whole time. There it is. Say no more. Hey, say no more. That's why my channel is called Say No More. There it is. Say no more. Was just talking for a minute, bro. Nobody could hear me. That's crazy work. That's insane. No way. What is that? Anyways, that's tough. Yeah, it's insane. I was muted the whole time. Say no more. That's crazy, bro. But yeah, I'm just ready to get back to this point, like these days in the season, bro. Like this is what I'm gonna get back to winning. I want to get back to producing, but I'm about to finish editing this video right now, so I appreciate y'all jumping on. Appreciate it. I'm about to be back on later. Am I still muted? Okay, there I'm about to say there it is. But yeah, man, I think we got up to like 55 people. I really appreciate y'all, bro. Drop 100 in the chat. Say no more. I'm gonna tap back in later on today. I appreciate y'all though. Real love, bro. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're about to keep going up. I got to get this together too. I was ended. Am I still muted? That's crazy work. Say no more. Remember, portal is closer, players, but not for programs, so we can still get some dogs incoming week. That's a fact, D3. Yes, sir. Today, yes, sir. We're going to be covering that today. I'm about to go look and see if we just got anybody today. All right, y'all. I'm going to see y'all in a minute.